The exclusivity of sexual relations and thought and mind share and all of that thing. I think that's important to talk about, right? In the sense that should be, if you really want the relationship to be the most successful as it can and the most intimate, that your sexuality should be reserved completely, exclusively, entirely for your partner.
Which I just thought that was the norm. Like, I just thought
people disagree with this.
Was how it's supposed to be. Like, maybe I'm naive, and maybe more women think this way than men do, because I do feel like all women in some degree just want an amazing man that is amazing to them and treats them well and makes them feel safe and gives them orgasms, obviously. So it's like, if you have all that, I feel like women aren't going to go looking for more.
Well, not looking, see, and that's where I think this is important. We're not talking about cheating here necessarily. We're talking about like looking for other stimulus or things like, so for example, that same woman
need that.
Well, but I mean, that same woman will be like, okay, I read some romance novels and I've got my toys and that's fine. And again, I don't think there's anything like severely wrong with that. I don't, but I do think that it does make sense to save your entire mind share in the sexual department to your partner. It's just like we were talking about like celebrity crushes and stuff like that. It's not just not saying it. It's not even having it, not even in this. We talked about last episode about guys. I'm like, just turn your head. Don't look at the girl at the, like, if you, don't, and I guess this part of the conversation is more like, don't send your sexual energy in other places than your partner. Maybe that's the best way to say that, because there's plenty of people that are like, oh yeah, I don't care, if he does this, or if he looks at porn, or if he, whatever, and I do my own thing too. But we have good time together, and it's like, yeah, I get that. And yeah, maybe that works for some people, but would it work better? And would you have a better depth of intimacy in your relationship if your only sexual outlet was each other, and your only thoughts, and you direct? And again, you might say, oh, I can't control all my thoughts. And yeah, but you can rein them in. You can train your thoughts, and you can hone your thoughts. It's just like I said, the guy at the gym that looks over at the girl is like, he doesn't have to fixate. He can like notice and then be like, oh, train my thought back to the direction it needs to go. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it just makes me feel like maybe they're not being open with their partner, or they're not as into their partner, because I want to say that if somebody's not fulfilling all your needs, if you're not at 100%, then you are going to look, or be more inclined to. But if you are fulfilled, then like there is no desire. Just like you said, like with the celebrity crushes. And I used to have a celebrity crush before you came along, and it literally just went away, because you are well beyond that, and you're here and you're all about me, and like, what more could I want? Like, there is nothing else I want. Yeah. So I don't know. It's harder for me to like think about, because it just makes sense to me. Like, why would you? I used this analogy the other day. Why would you want a banquet meal from the frozen section of the grocery store when you're at your favorite restaurant that's like the best experience and the best food you've ever had? Yeah. Like, you wouldn't. Right. Like, you wouldn't even look that way. Like, you wouldn't even think, it's not even on your radar. Right. But
I think for a lot of people, it's not it's not the best experience.
But that's what I'm saying. So, like, they could talk to their partner to, get on the same page. Right. Or
even if you're into something weird. Even if you're into something weird, talk, don't handle it yourself. Like, talk to your partner and figure it out between the two of you, because that's a better
What kind of separates you guys in a way? Yeah. Even though it might not feel like it, but if you're having sexual experiences with your partner and then separate sexual experiences by yourself or whatever, like that feels kind of double life to me or something. Like, why aren't you fully invested in here and fully like present here, and you're off doing these other things?
Right. Yeah. And some people say different libidos and mismatching, but I still think that you can still figure out it's better to figure out a solution that.
Yeah, but I would say even if that's the case, like then you should still be thinking about your partner while you're doing extra things if that's what you need.
Or you can do in the presence, but
right, which would I feel like would make it better.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And I feel like they should think that, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I think it really comes down to that idea of like making all of your sexual energy be focused at your partner, whether it be in the physicality sense, in the mental sense, in whatever sense that it is all directed there. And I think that's the important thing about it. So
I feel like I don't have a lot to add because I feel like that's just a given thing.
Yeah, but it's not even just given for all women too. Because I'll say that.
I mean, I get the book thing because you're right. I think the book would be the only thing that I could think of that where women are having this. Because even if you're reading something, like sure, maybe a small majority are thinking of that situation with her husband instead of the guy in the book. But some women are reading that and they're thinking about the character in the book doing the things to them, and that's some other person. And I'm not saying that that's like cheating.
No.
But I mean, we did go back to like, is those things cheating or whatever? But it's still like you're deviating, even if it's mentally.
Right. And you're training your brain in a way, like you're training your sexual response too, which is, I think, is important. Like you want your sexual response to be cued into your partner only. Better than